Hi, okay, many of you have asked me about what spiritual development means. Um, I can only talk, about the things that I have experienced or the way I teach it, I would say, or I have learned it from spirit. Um, and so spiritual development means many things. I always talk in frequencies, feel in frequencies, and talk about them. Technically, what really happens with spiritual development is that your frequencies are going to change. To reach that, there are different techniques to reach that. Why is it important? Well, your frequency is changing, it's technically a side effect of spiritual development. And if they become high vibrational, more high vibrational, you are also more receptive to things that the bare eyes cannot see around you. So technically, electromagnetic fields, light, but you also feel literally energies and people thoughts or other type of electromagnetic fields around you. And that being said, once you feel them, then it's obviously the next step to be able to later decode it, understand what it means. But yes, one of the first things that starts happening is you becoming high vibrational. Now, how does it happen? So first of all, at the beginning of a spiritual development, things can clear out, like you actually forgive people or are going to heal actual illnesses, in yourself, or they heal naturally. And when that happens, you leave those energies behind technically, and they don't serve you anymore. So if you, for example, feel remorse or regret something, or you feel anger, you need to feel that in order to protect you. But once the situation is over and there is really it isn't serving you anymore, it won't protect you anymore, it's oftentimes better to let it go. Once you do that, your vibrational level will rise, and you will become more in alignment with yourself and more in love. And once that happens, you are able to take on, integrate other type of energies around you. What does that mean? Once you don't have to go into trance meditative state, but if you, for example, meditate or hang out with people who have a very good mature energy around, know where they are heading, who they are, you can first of all match that energy and also like integrate it, so sort of like become that energy. And that being said, when something like this happens to you, you will automatically feel better. So you will feel in alignment with yourself, just like those people. And you will be able to also like act like, for example, those people around you who were, high vibrational, they were able to manifest due to that very reason, things that they wish to have in life. And you're gonna match that. And so your life is gonna get better on so many different levels, because first of all, you're not gonna live in anger or remorse, and or other type of negative feelings, hate could be one of them too. And second of all, you're gonna be able to integrate other type of more high vibrational energies instead of those older energies that again are in more alignment with you and gonna help you to manifest the things that you need. It doesn't necessarily need to be things, you know, it could be a lifestyle, it could be you just doing the things that you like, that really make you happy, have the relationships that that really serve you as well, you know. You will start being true to yourself, and you won't have a bad feeling about, you know, claiming the things that make you happy. It's not even like you deserve it. You won't even have this feeling you deserve it. It just naturally will come to you, and you will also express your needs. Like there is not gonna be such a huge gap between you expressing your needs and what your desire really is. So yeah, maybe that's one of the things that's gonna happen to you during spiritual development, or why spiritual development is good, or what spiritual development is. That's maybe on a day-to-day level. And as I just said, healing, right, sounds great, and yes, everyone wants to transform and heal, but it oftentimes comes with tears and with reflecting yourself, learning more about yourself, and coming to that step where you actually see that certain old patterns, subconscious thinking, thought processes don't serve you anymore. And it's sometimes easier said than done to get rid of them, but it is usually a process, and it is a constant self-growing, you know, and healing, without necessarily wanting to look for the things that don't work all the time. And always emphasize it, that we never want to get to the point where we only look for the bad things, you know, what isn't working, what is the stuff that triggers me, because then we will get into this hamster wheel of like, what is that isn't working, you know, what is it, why is it triggering me, I need healing. So we never want to do that. Most of the things really clear by themselves. So that's one of the things. And if we want to go on a more spiritual level, then by meditating, being by yourself, reaching out to things, getting in touch with things that aren't necessarily visible for the bare eyes, but we start feeling that they influence us on an everyday level. When you do trance, you will obviously get in touch with your spirit guides, and those spirit guides will give you, at least this is how I experience it, right? Knowledge, but not just knowledge. They communicate with you in frequencies. You then integrate, as I just said, you integrate those frequencies literally into your body. You will feel that possibly your habits of eating or sleeping, or type of people you want to hang out with, the way of thinking, and even your cognitive abilities will change once you start communicating with your spirit guides more often, because of the new energies integrating, and you are changing. What happens after a while is, when you really get to know your spirit guides, and you feel them to the T, you will start recognizing that many of your spirit guides are actually you, aspects of you. It's not like just in your brain, you know. They will give you real life evidence that they have existed. You can Google them, map them out, see you know, who they knew, and other type of things, you know, like also the teachings that they give you, like when they teach you how to heal, and then you try it out on someone, you know, and it really does work, and miracles start happening. Or when you get visions and they actually become true, you know, like you have the vision of like that you are going to be moving to a new apartment next year, and it is actually happening, and very unexpectedly. These are the things when you know, like after a good year, half a year, they are real. And I don't even want to get to the point right now where I'm talking about physical mediumship where they actually make themselves visible, you know, and they give you physical sensations and so on. But yes, it's a very normal pattern of thinking at the beginning that oh, they are not real, they are maybe just in my mind, I don't know if I can trust them. And that's a good process to actually test it out, because there is always free will, right? No one is forcing you to do anything. No one is wanting to do things that you are not ready for. So this is why the spirit world is also going to take it slow sometimes. And there is this trust that you are going to build up with them, and this is going to be tested sometimes with evidence, with your powers, you know, like kicking in powers. What are powers? First of all, you will learn like how powerful you are technically, that you have way more influence on your situation, or about your life, regarding your life, that you have ever thought, but also about your psychology, your mental and physical health. And that is the first step when you step into your own power. And then later on, once you really integrate that energy of your spirit guide, and you realize that many, not all of them, but many of the spirit guides are actually you in a parallel or former life, you step into their power, which is then, if they are you, it's your power again. And this is when, right when this development step happens, or before that happens, spirits also give you initiations. Now it sounds like very like cult-like and like, oh my god, what is that? And is it like a ritual, or how can I trust something like that? But the thing is, once that happens, you feel very honored. So by the time they would do that, this is something of a step where you actually long for it. And for me, at least, it usually happens very unexpectedly. So I don't even know before going into trance state that I'm going to receive an upgrade, if I may say so, an energetic upgrade, you know, which can also be oftentimes shown in a form of initiation. But then I see the signs and ask, and it's free will, and we both agree. And how could that, for example, look like? Oh, there are so many different ways. Okay, so sometimes I get objects, like I get a crystal. In this cave, I received a beautiful purple crystal, and I know for a fact that they also work in symbols, and we oftentimes communicate with each other, you know, via the etheric body. So what happened in that initiation is that I then put this crystal into my upper stomach, into my etheric body, and once coming back from the trance state, I instantly knew and felt that my vibration changed, that I was happier, that I had a more intense stamina, a bigger stamina, that my healing powers were stronger. Like, and I didn't have to work for it so hard. So that was also very interesting. That I didn't have to go that deep in order to go into this trance state, or to give someone a healing. The connection to that person was there right away, and I saw things more instantly. I was able to scan the person's body, but also soul and psychology, really. So how the person feels psychologically, right? Another one, okay, so like I received a sword from a person who very much looked like King Arthur. It wasn't a king, but it was from that era, and it very much felt like this is for protection and knowledge, and also in order for me to keep going on my path. So that was also a very, very emotional experience for me, and I can only tell you that I felt very safe afterward, just very, very safe, and I felt very honored, and I knew that something changed within. Usually these initiations happen in all sort of ways, and I also have received initiations from humanoids in order to expand my consciousness. So that was, for example, when I became one with one of the humanoids from Orion I learned from, and I was able to experience in that very moment everything and everyone at the same time. So I was really able to feel that I am in everything and everything is in me. And that really changed my perspectives on things as well, where I became way less judgmental. I understood in that very moment that whatever I receive is information, and it's up to my level of consciousness how this is being interpreted. And I suddenly lost this feeling of wrong or right, the polarity, love and hate. I came back from this trance experience, and I was able to just look at people and take it, whatever they said, as an information. And I still will obviously make decisions for myself and see what is in alignment with my body, what are the type of medicines, or food or whatever, I'm able to take or not able to take according to my bodily frequencies here on earth. But I don't feel like I have to judge other people or have an opinion about how they feel about things. Yeah, so that was one of the other initiations. That is also a big part of our spiritual development. A spiritual development is really, as I just mentioned, has a lot to do with your consciousness, how you are capable to work with your consciousness. It's obviously, or at least as I was shown in transit, is not attached to your body, and it's dimensional, and it can be pretty much everywhere at any time. And as I was shown, time doesn't really exist. So it's almost like, like when you turn on the TV and it's like channel 1, this life is on channel 1, then the next life is on channel 2, and the next life or the other life of yours is like on channel 3, and they somehow run parallel. So and with your consciousness, you are going to be able to experience being multidimensional. And that is, how does that look like? So you're going to be able to see yourself in the different lifetimes. Actually, I'm not kidding. What's happening a lot is that you yourself in different lifetimes is going to be able to communicate with you with the consciousness of yours in the here and now. And you're going to, guys, have like one place where it's all connected, really. And but you are also going to be able to astral travel. So in this earthly life, in the here and now, you can decide that you would like to, take a look what's going on in the grocery store next door, and then you are there, and then you can do that. Or also you're gonna be able to learn from people. So I always tell my students that the learning is really not taking place, or not necessarily only like on a level of talking and using words, but just simply them tuning into me and I tune into them. So this is how I obviously also know what they need to learn as next, where they are at in their spiritual path, and what their talents are. And so you are going to be able to connect with other people's consciousness and learn via that. But you're also going to be able to, yes, astral travel. Some people like to call it past life regressions, you know, do it by yourself. And also just, you know, experience other planets, really. Like, as I said, be anywhere. But also look behind scenes, like it can be useful in Las Vegas, I'm not kidding, but you can have a pretty good prediction, like you can predict things, maybe not with 100% accuracy, but it will become much stronger, this ability of yours. That's again because you can sort of be anywhere at any time, you know, and you will sort of know, like you get a hunch, a hint, when a certain card or a color will show up, you know, while playing. And since that happens, you can also, like, you will also see that you are on the spiritual path and development if you start healing people and suddenly you start connecting to them on so many different levels. Like, you don't just, not just, it's very important that you feel their physical, the body, you know, the actual illness, but also if it has anything to do with karmic, you know, lifetimes, with karma, or with maybe, you know, energies that are, you know, sticking to someone but they don't serve them, to a certain body part, and you start seeing things like that because, as I said, you see behind the scenes. So yeah, that's a big part of spiritual development, and the reason why we are doing it is because we will experience that we are way more powerful than we thought before, that we have way more influence without manipulation. Manipulation is another big topic. I don't want to get into it, but manipulation is technically a type of black magic, which I can make a whole nother video about it. But spiritual development, true spiritual development without manipulation for your own purposes, is you do that in order to help yourself. I would say mainly to help yourself, and if you reach a certain level of certainty that you can help others to help themselves, it's like you help others so they can help themselves, and to, yeah, if anyone believes in next lives, maybe that you have it a little easier in the next lifetime. That's also a good thing. Not that you have to do it for that reason, but it obviously will help your own collective consciousness. That's the place where, you know, all your knowledge flows into, because all your other selves from those other dimensions can tap into it. And in order to live a more live in alignment with yourself, listen, like, to yourself more, have a gut feeling for certain decisions or reasonings that you have, that you can actually have the power of changing it if you think that it doesn't serve you anymore, a certain pattern, that you live a more conscious life. Okay, so yes, once you live in more alignment with yourself, it can only happen if you love yourself more. So you will also have this, I am proud of myself. I am okay with who I am. I would like to make myself happy. And once you have that and do that, you are also automatically going to be able to make other people happier around you. Or those people who aren't in alignment with you, they just will, you know, live your life naturally. It's just gonna happen because you guys don't have anything to talk about. So, and that's okay too. As I said, maybe friends will change, but on the other hand, once you live consciously like that, you can also explain to the other person why you guys don't have anything to talk about, and you give the person a chance to actually change things that need to be changed, so you guys can be on the same frequency again. So yes. And obviously your manifestation powers are going to be much, much better. Yeah. Which is another whole topic, and I will get into. But yes, these are my first thoughts. If I think about spiritual development, what is it good for, and why someone would want to do it, you know. And yes, it is a way of life. And it is not done by working on it like once a year. So not even like on a hobby level. On the other hand, it's dedication. Yeah, it's if you really want to make progress, it's not even time, but it's also just you being by yourself, looking inside, you know, and wanting to change, and that's possibly most likely one of the hardest thing for most people. So yes, all right, love and light. And I hope you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe.